Raleigh deserves a lot of credit. This guy is a switch-hitting power hitter. I know a lot of people want to compare him to Mickey Mantle. He's not Mickey Mantle. Anybody that wants to compare him to Mickey Mantle is an idiot, because Mickey Mantle, you can argue, if he didn't have all those injuries, is probably the greatest player to ever play professional baseball. A lot of people would say that. I don't think anybody would argue that except Joe DiMaggio. The fact here is these two guys deserve a lot of credit. Aaron Judge hitting over 400 in the month of May is a sensational feat. Roz did it.
He was close. He didn't get there.
But he hit 400 for about a month and a half. Mm-hmm. He was hitting 400 for a month and a half. So
this is only the second time in his career he didn't hit 300.
Right. Yeah. So
he only walked 27 times in 650 plus at bats.
Roz is the only guy that hit over 400 that I could remember in the last 15 to 20 years. And that's crazy, because we talk about Ted Williams. I don't think Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak will ever be broken. Ted Williams and his 400 batting average, I don't think will ever be broken either, because 162 games, the way pitching is now, the way the analytics are out there now where you can figure out ways to pitch against these guys, I just don't see it. I don't think it's ever going to happen. What Judge did this year is remarkable, because everybody's trying to compare the last two seasons and what he was putting up the last two seasons, which was remarkable. And we talk about what Raleigh did with 60 home runs. Aaron Judge hit more 2 years ago. So we could go back and forth, and everybody says, well, they had these balls what do they call them?
The Goldilocks
balls. The Goldilocks balls.
The Ryan Spader theory.
Absolutely ridiculousness, and that's perfect for ridiculousness, the TV show. To me right now, Aaron Judge should win the MVP, because if you look at the statistics, and I don't have my phone, and if I had my phone, I was looking at stats that he leads the league in. There's like 5 or 6 different percentage stats that are not even close. Not even close. And I'm talking about National League and American League. It's not even close. Not Shohei Ohtani, not anyone. Kyle Schwarber even comes close to that. And this guy's a power hitter. This is a guy that a lot of people thought was never going to hit 300. This guy's a borderline career 300 hitter. I think he's career 294 right now. By the time he's done with his career, he could be a career 300 hitter. 6'8", 280 pounds of muscle. It's ridiculous. Everybody's trying to figure out who's the next Derek Jeter, who's the next face of baseball. I don't think it's an argument. I know Shohei Ohtani internationally is. He is. But Aaron Judge in America, here in the United States, Aaron Judge is the face of baseball. Raleigh has had a great year. He's a catcher. The position is so hard to play. It's probably the hardest position to play in baseball, because he's the one that's calling defensive plays. He's the one that's shifting the infield. He's shifting the outfield. He's the voice of the manager in the dugout. So what he does is so very important. And he's the best catcher in baseball. I don't think you can argue that. But when you look at statistics in baseball mean everything when you're trying to decide such a close race. You're batting 247 to a guy that's batting 331, and he's playing with a tear in his UCL. Think about that, guys. He is playing with a tear in his elbow, and he's putting up these numbers. He's extending, and he's at the plate, probably in a lot of pain, probably getting shots in his elbow every single game. I don't know if he is.
He's not feeling no pain, by the way.
Probably not, because he's getting the shots. But you know what I'm talking about. You got to put your body on the line for your team. Is Juan Soto one of those guys that are going to do that? I don't know, because Juan Soto threw his team under the bus. This man came back when a lot of people said maybe he should hang up the cleats this year. Maybe he should sit out. The Yankees have a lot of money invested in this guy. He's not going to be able to. He's going to be a bona fide DH. It doesn't matter. Aaron Judge is going to start in right field because he's a leader. He stands for something. I'm not saying Raleigh is not a leader. I'm not saying he's not sensational. He's not Aaron Judge.
Judge is, just because if there wasn't such discrepancy in some of the numbers, and that's not saying that what he's done is crazy, like as a switch hitter in the year that he had, but based upon numbers wise, he's not even in the top 10 of switch hitting, like categorically as a whole. Caught 159 games. Like there's something to be said, but I don't know what categorically or what A, B, C plus minus negative to the second square root, how that plays a part in what he does, because
a square root? Did you just say
I
square
don't know.
root?
Yeah, there's a thing for every freaking statistic anymore. His F plus and the minus of the negative
The
to the
scientific
power.
notation of the 8 power.
Joba, don't plus anyone's minus anytime soon here with this stuff.
Yeah, people are downplaying like batting average. There's a batting title still, correct? Mm-hmm. Yes. Best hitters, the Hank Aaron Award. We have all of these set out to play. Most valuable player, and this has been a topic of conversation as well with numerous people, is if you take him out of the lineup, are they still as good as they are? Are they the most valuable player, or are they the best hitter? And where do those two change? And now it's some people like they're backtracking. Like a few years ago, it's like, hey, his batting average was better, hit less homers. Well, now you have the same dude doing the same thing. And that's not taking anything, because his season is going to go down as one of the greatest ever for a catcher. Let's just be honest. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not taking anything away from him. I mean, he's a catcher and he has more stolen bases than Aaron Judge. That's kind of interesting. That's just a fun fact to throw out there. And there was somebody on MLB Network, they were like talking about they didn't want him to clog up the bases. We don't want him to hit 290s. Well, he actually has more stolen bases than Aaron Judge. And he does it all. He does it switch hitting, and he doesn't take time off. He's a platinum catcher, platinum Gold Glove catcher. Like, we're not talking about just some slappy behind the dish. Like, no, let me call some pitches. I rake. No, you've got to be able to be special to be Cal. And he's been special. And that is not taking anything. Does he lead that team 100%? Is Julio having an okay year? Did he start off terrible? Yes. Did Cal hold it down? And if you go back and look, the trajectory of projected home runs for Cal Raleigh every month was the same. It statistically stayed the same throughout the entire season. And that was how efficient and how consistent he was. We know he's not going to hit 3-something. That's just not who he is. But he became comfortable with himself because he signed a long-term deal. And that does something for your psyche. That puts you in a place where now this is home. I can be me. And not to say he's going to put up 60 every year, but we're going to get a better version of him. But a better version of him is still not as good as Aaron Judge. Now, if he's hitting 300 and everybody's like, if he hits 62, does that change your... No, it's 2 more homers. That's not changing anything if he would have hit 62, other than he got to... But what's it matter? 62 is 62. That's not the home run record. People are going to say it is, but it's not. So you can talk about steroids, you can talk about whatever, but 62 is 62. That's what it is. But what Judge has done in every category and continued to play, and obviously you talk about his elbow, everybody plays hurt. You want to talk about, and you want to say, oh yeah, he's playing through a blown elbow. Try sitting behind the dish and do that for 159 games. A blown elbow is easy. I pitched with a blown elbow for 6 weeks. I know what it's like. This man is behind the dish catching, foul balls, going up, raking. So when you talk about injury, put that aside, because Judge doesn't understand what that is, and Cal will never understand what Judge's situation is either. But to take away what he's done behind the plate as far as calling the game, being a great catcher, not a serviceable catcher, and going out and hitting what he did and basically running that team, you can't blink at it. But it's just so hard with the discrepancy in how vast those... And we're not talking just Cal. We're talking about all of baseball. Not just him. We're talking next closest. And that's just hard, because now it's what this game has become is stats. And MLB posted on X, like literally his OPS, homers, RBIs, didn't even talk about batting average. And he just won the damn batting title. What are we doing here?